How to discipline your mind. The story of Ryan. In a quiet little town, surrounded by green fields and winding roads, there lived a boy named Ryan. Ryan was known among his classmates and neighbors as one of the brightest kids in the area. He had an impressive memory, could solve difficult math problems quickly, and often surprised people with his sharp answers. Everyone believed that if Ryan set his mind on something, he could achieve it. Ryan himself had a big dream. Ever since he was a child, he had admired the doctors at the town hospital. He saw them saving lives, comforting families, and bringing hope to those in pain. Inspired by this, Ryan decided that one day he would become a doctor. He imagined himself wearing a white coat, stethoscope around his neck, helping patients and making a difference in people's lives. Everything seemed perfect. He had the brains, the dream, and supportive parents. But there was one big problem. Ryan could not control his mind. Whenever he sat down at his desk to study, something strange happened. His eyes would wander toward his phone. Sometimes he would open Facebook to check new posts. Other times he would spend just 5 minutes on YouTube, which somehow turned into an entire hour. On some days, he would get lost in daydreams about the future instead of working toward it. He often told himself, "I still have plenty of time. I'll study later." But the truth was, later almost never came. His parents noticed his habit and tried to advise him. "Ryan," his mother would say, "you're smart, but you must focus. Intelligence without hard work doesn't lead anywhere." His teachers at school also reminded him about the importance of concentration and consistent study. But Ryan didn't take it seriously. He believed that talent alone would guarantee success. One day, the results of the annual school scholarship exam were announced. Ryan was excited. He had secretly hoped that winning the scholarship would help make his dream of becoming a doctor more possible. The scholarship would cover expensive books, extra classes, and even a part of his future tuition. When the results were posted, Ryan rushed to the notice board. But the moment his eyes scanned the paper, his heart sank. His name wasn't there. He had failed. He stood there in shock as he saw his friends, the ones who studied consistently every day, smiling and celebrating their achievements. They had all done well, while he had fallen behind. The same teachers who used to praise him now looked at him with quiet disappointment. That evening, Ryan sat alone in his room. His phone was beside him, but for once, he didn't feel like picking it up. Shame and regret filled his heart. He knew the truth. He wasn't lacking intelligence. What he lacked was discipline. He had wasted his time and opportunities. In that quiet moment, Ryan realized something important. Being smart is not enough. Without self-control and discipline, success would remain out of reach. From that night, Ryan decided to change himself. But he knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed someone who could guide him, someone who could teach him not only school subjects, but also how to discipline his mind. After asking around, Ryan heard about Coach Miller, the school's physical education teacher. Coach Miller wasn't just known for sports training. He was famous for helping students develop focus, patience, and self-control. People even said that under his guidance, the most unfocused students would gradually become disciplined. The next morning, Ryan went to see Coach Miller. He found him on the school playground, watching the basketball team practice. "Coach," Ryan said hesitantly, I can't focus on my studies. Every time I try, my mind jumps to something else. My phone, videos, random thoughts. I really want to change, but I don't know how." Coach Miller listened patiently, then smiled. "Controlling the mind is not easy, Ryan, but it's possible. Come, I'll show you something." He led Ryan to the sports equipment room and took out a toy bow and arrow. Together, they walked to the open field, where Coach set up a board as a target. "Here's the challenge," Coach said. "If you can hit the center of this board, I'll know how focused you are." Ryan pulled the bowstring and released the arrow. It flew through the air, but missed the target entirely. "What were you looking at when you shot the arrow?" Coach asked. Ryan shrugged. "The trees, the field, and the board." Coach shook his head. "That's your real problem. You were looking at everything at the same time. A good athlete only focuses on the target, nothing else. Your mind is the same. It's busy looking at everything around you, your phone, social media, daydreams. But if you want to succeed, during study time, you must only look at your goal, nothing else." Ryan nodded slowly. I understand, Coach, but where do I start? How do I become more disciplined? Coach Miller smiled and said, I'll give you 4 simple rules. If you follow them, you'll see results. 1. Control your thoughts. Whenever your mind drifts away from studying, tell yourself, this is my study time. I must focus now. 2. Make a routine. Create a daily schedule. Decide when you will study and when you will rest. Your brain will learn to follow this pattern. 3. Remove distractions. Phones, TV, and useless apps steal your time. Keep them far away when you study. 4. Practice every day. Discipline is built over time. Start with small habits and repeat them until they become part of you. Ryan listened carefully. That evening, he sat down and made a strict routine for himself. He set fixed hours for studying, rest, and leisure. He turned off his phone and placed it in another room during study time. Whenever his mind began to wander, he reminded himself, my goal is to become a doctor. At first, it was difficult. His hands itched to check his phone. His thoughts tried to escape toward YouTube videos and daydreams, but he resisted. Day by day, it became easier. Weeks passed, and Ryan noticed something remarkable. He could now study for hours without getting distracted. He no longer needed someone to remind him to focus. It became a natural habit. A few months later, another important exam came. This time, Ryan didn't just pass. He scored first place in his school. When the results were announced, his classmates congratulated him, and his teachers smiled proudly once again. Ryan knew that this victory was not just because of his talent. It was the result of his discipline, focus, and the small habits he had built every single day. About a year later, Ryan stepped onto the stage to receive a prestigious scholarship. The audience applauded as he shook hands with the principal. At that moment, Ryan remembered something Coach Miller had once told him. The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it will drag you wherever it wants. But if you train it, it will carry you to your destination. From that day on, Ryan lived by one principle. Train your mind with discipline, and success will follow you.